Hi and welcome to another episode of Cafe Chronicles. I'm Steve. Last time, hopefully you tuned in, we got her on her feet. We got the swing arm on, we got the rear wheel on, our nice new Icon shocks, and we have her sitting up on her own, which is awesome. This episode, what I'd like to do is to get the new Delkevic exhaust that we bought on here. And also the little oil filter at the front as well. We'll get that on, see how it fares. Alright, let's get stuck in. Well, we're doing really well. We've got the exhaust on. What I'd like to do is to open up this solenoid that I got. So this is a starter solenoid, and it's actually a kit I got from a company called Revival Cycles. I'll put a link in the description for you guys. This one is special. And the reason why it's special is because it's extremely lazy, and I'm all about the lazy life. So the idea here is that, I don't know if everybody knows what solenoid is, a starter solenoid is, but if you don't, I'm gonna give it a layman's terms here for you. So the idea is, when you connect your battery to the starter and you put a switch in between, like a key or something, and every time you hit that key, you're basically going to use the switch to connect the live side of the battery to the starter, to start over the bike. It's high voltage. So what happens is the switch that you're going to use, say if you're going to use a standard handlebar switch or something like that, it'll just get burnt to pieces in no time because it's not cut out for that high voltage. So what you do is you put something like this in the middle, and this is a starter solenoid. So what happens is you get, say, the live side of the battery goes to one side and the other side then goes to the starter. And basically you've got, like how a solenoid works, you've got a coil like a spring, and you basically send a current through it, and you have a magnet, a pole basic. You have a pole of steel basically that sits inside that coil, and when you put a charge through that coil, it actually makes that piece of steel kind of pop up. So what happens is that piece of steel acts as the switch here. So it's like a really heavy duty switch that can be actuated by putting a small current to this little coil inside here. So what you do is you set up another little kind of a circuit that goes to switch on the handlebar, and when you apply that low voltage to it here, it then hits the switch here, which is the high voltage to the starter. Then it means that you're not going to burn out any switches, and yeah, so you're laughing. It's probably, if ever anybody has ever sat into a car when the battery's dead and you go to click on the ignition to start the car and the engine doesn't crank, but you hear this click, click, click. What's happening is you've got enough power in the battery to put current through the coil so that this switch contacts here, but you don't have enough juice in the battery to actually turn over the engine, the starter. That's why you hear that click sound. So it's always a real fun sound to hear. Okay, so that's a very rough example of what a solenoid is. Why this one's a little bit special and lazy is because it is also a fuse, a main fuse. So it means that you don't have to have a main fuse set up as well as your starter. So it cuts down on a little bit of room and makes life just a little bit easier. So, which we're all about the easy life. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use this. We're going to connect our battery to it and then connect our starter to it, and then basically we're going to have a little circuit basically that I can connect to the battery to put voltage to this, and it means then that we're not going to fry anything, and we will be kind to everything, and also it means that we can test the bike. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to kind of temporarily wire up the bike so that we can check it. I'm going to fill it with oil and I'm going to put a little bit of gas into it, and then we're going to see if the bowls fill up on the carbs. Yeah, just make sure everything's kind of okay, and then we're going to try and start her. So, a little change of plan to what I was thinking. I was going to temporarily wire it up, and in starting to do so, I kind of thought, well, I'll wire the solenoid up, and then I'm like, well, I'll put the ground on the solenoid as well, and then I'm like, well, I'll ground the whole bike. So I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna have to wire up that solenoid. I'm gonna have to ground the battery to the frame. I'm gonna have to do these things. So I'm just gonna do them, and then kind of go from there. So let's just get wiring. I've done some really dodgy wiring here of the coils. I've wired the starter well into the battery, into the M-unit, into the little solenoid and everything. And then I very dodgy did a switch up here, basically as a ignition on off. And then I did another really dodgy start button, which is here. So I'm going to turn on the ignition and I'm going to hit the start here. I've taken the bike out of gear, so it's in neutral. So hopefully we should hear the starter motor click on. So let's see how it goes. It's a good sign. So I just want to show you guys what I'm doing here. So I took off the little what are these guys called? RebelMoto, I think. RebelMoto switches. I took them off to take a little look at how they're put together. And there's actually 4 connectors on these. The M-unit uses what they call a momentary switch. And what they mean by that is what it's doing is it's creating contact, a circuit between the positive and negative side of the battery when you push it in, but it's on a spring. It's only doing it momentarily. It's not like a toggle switch where it's click, you know, where it's on and then click it off. These here, it's momentary, so you hit it and let it go. These have 4 little contacts in there. There's a plus and minus as well, because these actually have LEDs in them. They light up as well. So they're going to look really cool. But you know, we have to wire all that jazz up. And as you can imagine there, when the handlebar goes in here, there's not an awful lot of room. So they have to be wired directly in. So that means we'll actually solder the wire directly on there. But because we don't want wires hanging out, these actually have a nice feature where you can actually drill a hole into the bar and then you can hide all the cables inside the handlebar, which is great. But in order to do that, it would mean that we'd actually have to put the M button into the handlebar, then take the cable out through the little hole and then get it in here. And because it's so tight there, you'd probably have to take out, you can screw out these little switches. Then, so this would be fed through the hole in the handlebar. Now you have to feed it through here. And then you have to try, while that's all loose, to solder it onto these. And if you heat these up too much, you'll damage the switch as well. So it's just an awful lot of faffery, you know, and then basically you get it back through, screw it on, and you're good to go. But if you ever want to take anything out or change anything or do anything on the bike, or if I sell it and somebody else is to use it, it's such a silly way to wire things because they're permanent, everything's fixed. So what my plan is to basically put little what they call bullet connectors onto each little connector on the M unit. So basically what I'm doing here at the moment is I'm wiring onto each little piece of the M unit this little connector. So what happens is then we just get a strand of wire and we wire up the switch, and on the other side of it we put these, and basically these get fed then through a little hole in the handlebar, and then all we got to do is connect these like that to the right wire, and then boom, it's nice solid connection and they're good to go. So that's kind of the thought process there. I think it'll be better then if you ever wanted to take them out, you just pull them out and disconnect them for whatever reason, and then you're good to go. Yeah. So that's the plan. So I've just started kind of going through here. I'm just going to finish these up and then probably call it a night for tonight. We've got a lot done. I'm happy enough with it. We got our exhaust on. It took a lot longer than I kind of thought it would. We've wired up our starter solenoid as well and main fuse. We've connected them up to the battery. We've also got our M-unit connected. And yeah, we've also tested out the starter motor to see if it was turning over okay with the starter solenoid and all that, and that is starting no problem. So next step is to finish off wiring up the controls, the switches and stuff, and we'll test them out on the M-unit. The lights of the inputs actually light up when you hit them, so it means that we can test that and make sure everything's cool on the switches and everything. And once it is, then we can start wiring the outputs. So the output to the turn signals, the output to the starter solenoid, the output to the lights, and so on. So it puts us in a nice situation. And also we'll put some oil in it, and we will put some gas in it once we get the starter connected up. Before we connect up the lights or turn signals or anything like that, I think we'll connect up the starter, the starter button to the starter solenoid, and we'll put the gas tank on. And I think it's time to hit it on and see if this thing actually runs. So it's funny. It's really exciting because I can't wait, and I really want to get it on the road. But it's terrifying because you know, there's a good chance it's not going to run, right? I'm after building this engine myself, so first time as well, so God only knows if this thing's going to run. But hey, that's the name of the game, right? That's why we're doing this. So okay, well, listen, a bit of a long episode, and yeah, we've done a lot of little bits and pieces, but thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the little bell. Make sure that you get any new updates or videos that come out. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon.